Hey guys, welcome to this episode. In this one, we are going to talk about 3 top tips for customer service in your fashion business. So, I wanted to focus on these 3 things when it comes to customer service because I feel like they make a big difference in the customer experience and it can definitely have a big repercussion on your business, on your sales, and word of mouth, and all of that good stuff. So, the first thing I want to talk about is how you make people feel. That needs to be a focus in your business. So when I talk about branding in business, a lot of people think about the visual aspect of it, the logo, the colors, the fonts, and all of that, right? But the feelings that you evoke, the emotions that you evoke are a big part of it. Okay. That's branding too. The experience that the person has, how they feel when they interact with your brand, and all of that, what they tell another person, right, about it. So you have to be very intentional about how you make them feel. So I'm sure you have had an experience where, for example, you go to a particular coffee shop, right? And they treat you, maybe they're very polite or they're very high energy or they're very kind or whatever it is, right? And it's part of the culture of the business. Not only that particular person, which is amazing when you come up with those kind of people, but if it's part of the culture, right, and everyone's like that in the way that they serve, the way that they approach the customer, the way they make you feel, right, that is branding and that makes people come back. Okay, a lot of people, even if they have to pay more, right, they rather go to a place where they feel good, where they get that attention, where they get that kind of service that they want. So I'm not saying you have to be all hypey and happy and everything. You do whatever works for you and whatever works for your brand, of course. And think about your customer and the kind of customer that you have and all of that. But I'm just saying, just focus on the way that you make people feel and make it part of the culture, make it part of the brand, because that's going to make sure, right, that people keep coming back, that they have a good experience, that they you create that brand loyalty, right? They can tell people about the experiences, right? Because a big part of purchasing from you, right, whether you're offering a service or you're offering a product, is that experience. Okay, so that's my number one customer service tip. The second thing is be very, very clear about your cancellation or refund or return policy. These policies that you have set in place for your products and services, you need to be very clear about them and you have to let the customer know about it before they make that purchase, okay? Or when they're making that purchase, okay? This has to be very clear. Remember, the customer, usually when they're buying, they're in this happy zone where they're buying something they want or they need or they're whatever, right? And they're distracted. So it is your job, right? And it's your responsibility, right, to let them know what the terms are, the terms of the transaction, okay? How many days they have to return, if they can, if you accept returns or not, or if the refunds are available or not, whatever it is, right? You have to let them know. That has to be part of the transaction, because if that doesn't happen, right, and you don't have proof of it, it's not on the receipt or in the emails or in the invoice or whatever it is, if it's not written down somewhere on your website, right, and you bring it up to them when you're having that transaction, that's going to bring uncomfortable conversations, uncomfortable experiences, that it's going to have very bad repercussions on you, on the experience they're going to have, and who knows what can that turn into, right? So my advice to you is really be very clear about these policies, the return or the cancellation or the refund, however it is when it comes to that money, right? And make sure that you let them know when they're doing the transaction, and make sure that it's written. It's also written in paper, right? In the website, in the receipt or the invoice, in the communication, the email that you're having, so people can go back and look at it, right? If they need to make one of those, take one of those actions, okay? It's better for them to have that there, right? And look at it and read it and remember that you had that conversation. And if they don't remember, right, you let them know and make sure that you have it there so they can read it, so they know what they're gonna they're gonna get into once they talk to you, if they need to, right? it's way easier to handle a situation, right? That might be a little bit uncomfortable when you already have set the rules and you already had the conversation, right? And you have set the expectation, than just having people come in, right? Plus, it's irresponsible, right? So make sure that you're being very clear about this, because this is gonna make sure that all of this customer experience and everything is smoother, right? And then this one kind of goes tied to my third customer tip, which is about, even, you're going to apply, you're going to be very clear about your policies, right? At the same time, make sure that you are a leader, right? That is guided by common sense, that is flexible, and that is fair. Okay. So a lot of stores, right? A lot of service providers, they, because they attach so much to the rules, right, or to their policies, sometimes it becomes irrational. And that's the moment where you can differentiate yourself. Yes, always follow the rules. Yes, always let them know. Yes, be very clear and transparent about everything. But if there's a particular situation, right, if there's an accident, there's an exception, right, make the exception, because that's going to be part of that customer experience as well. Okay. So I'm always talking about, yes, there has to be boundaries. Yes, there has to be rules, all of that, right? But at the same time, you as a business owner you have to be a person, right? So let's say there's a situation where there is a 30-day return policy. I've had situations, right, where this happens, and there's a bigger reason behind the 30 days, right? Maybe there's a family loss, or maybe I don't know, there's a particular situation that you can really make the exception. If you can make the exception, then make the exception. Exceptions are made once in a blue moon, right? When they really need it. This doesn't mean that you're not going to follow the rules and then just going to break the rules all the time, because then what's the purpose, right? And you're not creating that culture of in the business, right, of following the rules. But if there's a situation that demands an exception, be human enough, be fair enough, be flexible enough to be able to break that and turn it into an exception. Okay. That just comes, with common sense and how you are. But I put it out there because a lot of people, right, they're very stuck to the rules, and they have very bad situations come up because they don't apply that fairness or that flexibility. Okay. So at the same time, as I tell you to be very, good with your rules, make sure that if there's a very good reason, right, that that it's something that needs that exception, make sure to apply it. So yeah, those are my 3 top tips. We can share many, but if you focus on these 3 things, which are all around the customer experience, they're going to make a big difference. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want more tips, and let me know what has happened to you. What has been your experience? When has these applied to you, and how you have turned things around to make sure that your customer has a great experience. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Oh, also, if you guys want to get your ideas organized, remember, we always have our free guides to help you set a plan for your fashion business. So I'll make sure to leave those below. And if you're interested on continued support in building your business, remember, we have our monthly membership. We're coming up with some great things inside the membership, workshops, events, and all kinds of things. So make sure to check it out because it's a great value and it's for a very good price. So let me know if you guys have any questions. And yeah, I'll see you guys in our next episode. Okay. Bye, guys.